Welcome back to the Dave Knows Wrestling live stream. I am your host, David Lee, and this is
Albert Albanese.
And we are here a bit early for the Dave Knows Wrestling live stream right here on YouTube.
I think we've been earlier.
We have been earlier. I think last week we were earlier.
I think so.
Okay, so lots of news to talk about today.
What's up, TJ?
Moving a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You want people to see me so they can make fun of me, Dave?
I don't think they have to see you to do that.
Man, that's not nice.
But yeah, so TJ missed us last time, but TJ's here now. So that's what's important. And a thumbs up right away. Thank you so much. I like that. Andy JT Aaron, my man, what is up? And
Yep, I guess I'm the Reigns lover.
yeah, when it rains, it pours. That's right. Hey, Andrew Sullivan, what's up, degenerate? My man, Justin Lewis. I interrupted my community watching. Well, then you must be watching it on tape or something. Why are we watching ESPN2?
I don't know. Did you not switch the channel?
I thought you did.
I thought you did.
No, I didn't do it. All right, I'll be back.
Thanks, TJ. You say I'm looking sharp today. My favorite Ring of Honor wrestler right now? Oh, it's hard. Probably Jay Lethal, because I've always liked Jay Lethal. What's up, Double A? How's everything going? What's wrong with Reigns? He's great. Thank you, TJ. It's hard for me to have to, wrangle these people by myself. I'm glad to have you here to have my back. Vinny Montaigne, yeah, absolutely believe in the Shield. I mean, this is huge. We had a big Shield reunion last week when we were not on the air. We went off before it, but that was pretty big. I have a feeling that's going to be one of the big things we talk about on this stream today. I don't watch any UK promotions, unfortunately. I don't have the time sometimes to watch all this wrestling. I can barely keep up with watching WWE as it is. I want to get back in Impact because people keep telling me it's good.
World of Sport, thanks to my guys hooking me up.
Well, there you go.
Yo, Double A, speaking of which, Double A, the man behind the graphic designs. Check out his channel as well as the awesome graphics he made for you. Oh, no, we're opening up Raw with Roman Reigns.
Yes, we are. Big sign there. Reigns Universal Champion. I like it. Oh, wait, he's not coming out. You know what this means, right? Oh, wait, there we go.
Oh, he maybe got tired and ran out of cardio.
No, I was really hoping that meant we were going to open with the Shield, but I mean.
Yeah.
I popped hard for the Shield, too. Don't worry. Dave, what are you wearing?
I don't know. That's a really weird two sentences to combine together. It just makes things sound off. Baron Corbin is GM. Hopefully he doesn't rust. So Baron Corbin is GM and Roman Reigns is Universal Champion. I think Monday Night Raw is getting worse and worse for me. I think
I love this.
And no Kurt Angle. It's like they're just finding ways. They need to. If they take Alexa Bliss off, they're just gonna give me.
Well, all right, you want me to start off? Starting to bash people because I'll do that right off the bat. I dealt with a big angry fan over the weekend, over the last week, talking about how much he's like, it's a wonder why people don't watch WWE anymore. Roman Reigns is the champion, and blah 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 blah. And I was like, but you guys all love AJ Styles. Why don't you just not watch Raw and watch SmackDown? And the answer was, SmackDown. AJ Styles being treated as a second-rate champion because he's on SmackDown, but he's the champion. What do you mean they're treating it the second-rate champion?
He is. They are.
I don't agree with that at all.
How many main events has AJ seen with the title? This is the same problem we had with CM Punk. Same exact problem with CM Punk's run. And at that time CM Punk was like the guy, but yet he wasn't main eventing. He would always play after Cena. That's what they mean by second-rate champion. They're not trying to say he is a second-rate champion. They're trying to say he's being treated like one. And when you don't main event, you're getting treated like one.
I don't 100% agree with that.
I don't see how.
Look, my whole thing is that... All right,
real quick side note while he's on the screen, I do have to say, I love the fact that Dean hasn't talked yet. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
because
really
that was his number one, defining trait. That was his best attribute, and he's not using it. Which is balls.
Yeah, I have a feeling that somehow I know that he said that it was going to start off with Reigns and Strowman. That means the Shield has to get involved.
Okay, so here's a question. Andy JT Aaron is asking, and by the way, for those of you who don't know, we do not have the sound. We're just watching Monday Night Raw, so clue us in on anything.
If we really need to know something,
Is the Shield heel? Because I don't know yet. So Andy JT Aaron asks, do you dislike the booking of Roman Reigns? Well, you do like Roman Reigns?
I do. I actually really heavily dislike this booking at least for the past 2 years. He's been looked at as being the guy who it's like, he's supposed to be the face of our company. This is the first world title run he's had in 2 years. You can't make somebody the main event guy and not put the belt on him. I think that they needed to trust him more, and they needed to put the belt on him way before they put the belt on him now.
Okay. Are you guys digging the new Shield merch?
There's a shirt actually.
Segue time for Albert.
Yes. So there's
just so you guys know, we are not doing the MESNradioshow.com after this.
I'll be doing my MESN radio show. If you guys are football fans, you can listen to that.
But we will be doing Wrestling with Wrestling, so that will be on. Look forward to getting that. Listening to that show. That will be posted. We just recorded it, so we were just talking about that. And somebody can't change the record because he had to talk about. We'll be talking about All In, but somebody couldn't help and bring up Roman Reigns.
I did, and this is the shirt I want, guys. That's the Shield shirt I want. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's the one I want. When I first saw that,
What's up, Joshua A?
Oh, wow, you can actually see that really solidly. That's good. When I first saw that, American football, double A, sorry. I immediately saw that shirt and I was like, yeah, I definitely want it. 100%. But, my big thing is, hell yeah, I'm a Shield mark. What the hell? What wrestling fan out there wouldn't be a mark for the Shield? They're one of the best groups in wrestling, at least for the past 10 years.
And Lydia, I think he will speak eventually. I just think they're not doing it right now just because he's doing something a little different. Like, also his in-ring work is different. So I just like that he came back.
I think he's improved his in-ring work.
Absolutely.
I think his look is better. I think his demeanor, even though he hasn't talked, is better. I love this new Dean Ambrose.
I like Dean Ambrose talking. I love Dean promos. I just think it's interesting that they're not doing it. That's all I was saying.
D-Bone, yes, football as in the American football, not football as in the American soccer.
Andy JTR, thank you again for that. World of Sport, absolutely great. Really, really cool. I really, really liked it a lot. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of British pro wrestling, so I had no doubt that I would like it. I assume NW Shield is an NWO wannabe stable. I thought that was a Bullet Club. I thought they were both.
Yeah.
I think almost every stable since, like Main Event Mafia or Aces and Eights was Biker NWO. I think every stable that shows up after the NWO wants to be the NWO.
To answer your question, Josh, it's a Bret Hart shirt.
Mark means fan or customer. Well, that's what many people say. That is true. Harry Flynn is here. NWO
great.
wins over the Shield any day of the week.
The woman is always in the background because she works here, double A.
Dave and Alice. Who's Alice? Because normally when I do the Friday live streams, I just tuck into the corner so you can't see who's there. But if we're doing this, or if I'm doing this, most likely, it's pretty hard for me to work while I do this. So therefore, someone has to be back there. And it's going to be her or Mike, who you've seen on the show before.
For everybody saying that, this and that is a wannabe NWO, doesn't that mean that the NWO is a wannabe Horseman?
No. I understand that argument, and I could even really try to make it if I wanted to. But I think they're.
Oh no, they're completely different.
That's why I can't say that. But yeah.
Arthur, I really don't appreciate being called Fat Austin Aries, especially because I can't see what you look like to make fun of you.
Wait, who called you that?
Arthur.
Arthur called you that.
Is Strowman the most over guy on the roster? Maybe. He might be. Here's my big thing.
Your thing. Yeah,
can everybody tell me?
Thank you for the thumbs up. Yeah.
Why? What's it called? Strowman's so over? Because on the mic, marginally better than Roman Reigns. I wouldn't say he is exceptionally better. In the ring, they're about even. Booking wise, Strowman has buried a lot more people than Roman Reigns has. Did you not watch SummerSlam?
Did you not watch Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman's feud? I'll start there.
That was the first time that Reigns actually looked legit in trouble when he was with Strowman. Strowman beat the crap out of him.
The reason why, and I'll put it this way, the reason why Braun is over, more so than Roman Reigns, is simple. It has to be about honest, genuine believability as someone who is a tough beater of worlds, someone that we believe is going to win. Not because, so believe that, and not because they keep booking. them to win. That's not enough. It's got to be someone that we genuinely believe is kicking ass and taking names, okay? And Braun, don't get me wrong, his size is there.
Okay.
Okay, but Roman Reigns, I will give you to a degree he has improved. He's still not good. But when he's on the microphone, I don't believe him most of the times. I don't believe he means what he say. And we know that they script everybody. We know that. Okay? But there's some guys who pull it off a little bit better than others. There's some guys who make you believe that fire a little more. One of the biggest appeals of the New Day, they were booked as heels, but they got over and just became faces. Why? Because their belief that, them joining together, strength in numbers, them being together because they were in a very similar place and they didn't think it was fair, that was real. That was genuine. I believed that. How much do we believe these people? Braun Strowman, yeah, is he gifted by nature to look like he's going to murder like 100 people with just his pinky? Fine. But you can ruin that. You can do things to take that away. Braun does not. Braun just had to not mess it up. And guess what? He doesn't mess it up. Roman looks like he can, I'm aware that in a fight he is going to take me down, but he has messed it up. Fine. Vince McMahon and Triple H and Stephanie might have messed it up for him too, but I think Roman Reigns has messed it up for himself as well.
I think the WWE has pushed and Braun Strowman way better than they've pushed Roman. TJ actually said an interesting thing. Strowman dominated that feud, and I think he won that feud against Roman. I'm pretty sure he did. That's one. Two, somebody else said that that Braun is way better than Roman in the ring. Yeah. BS.
No, that is 100% true.
BS.
He has better cardio. He can go. I'll start there. That's always my go-to. Number one for Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. Braun has better cardio. And when we look at other matches, you're going to say, does he have as many moves or whatever? You're going to make that argument. But his match against the Big Show proved when he's working with someone of similar size and talent, yes, he can go. He is going to put on a show, and he has a plethora of moves. He can chain moves together. He can technically wrestle. Reigns has yet to prove that he can do that.
Oh, I argue with you 100% on the proof that he can technically wrestle. Why? Because like D-Bone said, he can do a kip up in the middle of a ring against a guy like the Big Show. Sure, that's great. It's a big guy that can do a kip up. That's fantastic.
They also did vertical suplexes. They also did side tosses and everything like that. It wasn't just he kept up once. They actually strung moves together against each other. That was the crazy thing.
Because it's a guy that was his size. Is he done it against anybody else? No. Every other story of Braun Strowman's matches are exactly the same. Guy, he misses the shoulder tackle in the corner after he dominates the guy for 5 minutes. The guy gets a little bit of heat. He comes back, runs around the ring, shoulder tackle a couple of times, big boot, power slam, over. That's every Braun Strowman match. And you want to complain about Roman Reigns in the ring? At least Reigns actually has competitive matches against guys. He's put on good matches against AJ Styles. Put on good matches against Seth Rollins. Put on great matches against. He put a decent match against Baron Corbin.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
Absolutely false. That was garbage. Roman Reigns is Superman punch and spear. Okay, and then gets put in rest holds. All right, Samoa Joe. That match at Backlash was a dumpster fire, complete dumpster fire, and Braun Strowman has never put on anything that bad. Not one match of Braun Strowman's has been that terrible.
Braun and Brock's match was pretty brutal to watch.
Braun and Brock better than that Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns match. Definitely. And I'm saying Braun and Brock better than Brock and Roman. Now, granted, I understand that Brock Lesnar, the current modern-day iteration of the thing we now call Brock Lesnar, really not working with a whole lot. That's the equivalent of working with a pretty flexible tree. But still.
Thank you, Arthur.
I don't want Tommaso Ciampa having theme music.
Yeah, I'm really upset that they actually gave him theme music.
Can wrestle better than most big men, but you're trying to make him out to be... No. I am not trying to make him out to be Bret Hart. That is not true whatsoever.
The 7-foot Bret Hart. That's a great way of putting it.
It is not what I'm trying to say. All I'm pointing out is that he can chain moves together, where we've all seen Roman try, and Roman has definitely failed. And you know what? I will give this much. I would bet you if we saw Braun Strowman versus The Undertaker now, it would be better than Roman and The Undertaker was.
I don't agree. Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar. Those are good examples of what, TJ? Good matches that
the
Roman's
number one
had?
thing that people say is Daniel Bryan. I disagree. I don't think that match was good.
I thought that match was great.
I felt just bad watching Daniel Bryan struggle trying to carry around. It reminded me, it was a slightly better version of when William Regal was trying to carry Goldberg through a match.
upsetting the children.
Probably.
And yes, TJ, you're right. Those are good. Those were good Roman Reigns matches. And like, I defy you to find, like, what's the go-to, with the exception of maybe the Big Show match, what's the go-to great Braun Strowman match? Does he have one?
Well, first of all, he had multiple Big Show matches, so let's also bring that up. I do want to talk about that.
He had two.
So, and they were phenomenal. I do want to bring that up. So let's start there.
Fine.
And
that's two. Give me another one.
This recent squash he had with Kevin Owens doesn't work. However, I have liked the Money in the Bank ladder match. I thought that was good. The TLC match, the multi-man match.
Yeah, that's exactly multi-man. It's all multi-man matches. Give me a good one-on-one match. Give me a good Braun Strowman one-on-one match, with the exception of the Big Show.
With the exception of the
Big Show. Because, fine, I'll take away the two matches that Roman Reigns had with AJ Styles, which were really, really good.
I really disagree with that. I think they were really good on AJ's part.
I think the matches themselves were really good.
But see, here's the thing. That's how Braun mostly gets booked. His first match with Sami Zayn was an interesting.
You don't think that Roman doesn't get booked the same way? You don't think Roman's suffering from the same thing as Cena, where Roman probably has more moves in his arsenal, and Cena was in the beginning. Cena was told to kind of do that whole 5 moves of doom thing to get people, steadily, increasingly knowledgeable about what he does, and then they took the reins off of Cena, and Cena actually showed, hey, I can actually wrestle.
No, because here's the reason why. If you are the guy and you decide you're going to try this goofy thing called wrestling, what are they going to do to you? What are they going to do? If Roman decided he was going to wrestle, really, what are they going to do? If he decided to if he was capable and he decided to string together a bunch of moves without getting winded, which I don't think he can, and that's my number one reason why I bring up cardio, but let's just say he did it.
Doubt it.
What's going to happen to him? Let's say he puts on a total technical wrestling chain fest. What's going to happen to him?
He's still going to get booed out of the building because wrestling fans suck.
No, see, that's the thing. If he did that, fans would loosen up on him. Just like when Cena started doing it, fans started loosening up on him. It's exactly the same way.
The only reason Cena started getting over a little bit more afterwards is because I think wrestling fans kind of realized, oh crap, maybe we put the heat on this guy for a long time when it wasn't his choice to do this.
Because he started wrestling and he started demonstrating, but also because fans got older. Kids who grew up with him became part of the money ticket buying, audience. So that's another factor too.
Thank you, TJ. Wrestling fans are way too negative.
But see, as we were talking...
And Reigns is not... The ratings went up last week when Reigns was on the show. Also, for those of you guys who don't know, guess who the number one merchandise seller is in the WWE right now? Roman mother effing Reigns.
And let's talk about
number one.
The caveats of that.
Well, okay, please, give me those caveats.
First of all,
please.
Ratings typically always go up after a major show like WrestleMania or SummerSlam. So you can't make it sound like, they went up because he was a champion. They go up typically after a major event. They just do. Always. 9 times out of 10, they're going up. So let's begin there. So let's see.
Fine. I said I gave you the concession. It was 1 week, and I said we'll see what happens next week. Right. I gave you that concession. I'm fine with that. But please.
He's not, and now Roman Reigns isn't the top merchandise seller of all time. He is just selling more merch right now than anybody.
He's the top merchandise seller in WWE right now.
Right now.
Yes.
But there are several things to keep in mind. Number one, Cena's barely around. So Cena's throne is still under suspect. If Cena was full-time, would he still be there? That's a good question. Number two, we also know that WWE holds a wide berth and orders more merch and has more merch.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that argument up, because you know who else who would actually debunk that whole rumor too? Your buddy Dave effing Meltzer actually even said the whole thing where they said that CM Punk wasn't the top merchandise seller back in the day when it was him and Cena because they didn't order enough of his merch and it was always sold out. Even Meltzer said that was BS.
However, that might be what Meltzer said, but let's look at it right now, because last I checked, Rusev Day does not have enough because they sold out like that of calendars. Not even t-shirts, just calendars. So the Rusev Day begs to argue with that.
Okay, fair enough, but all they have to do is just make more calendars.
It doesn't matter. You can't buy any right now, so that affects the monthly margin. If you can't order more merch until next month, then it affects the margin.
Okay, that's fine, but it still means that people are still buying a surplus of Roman Reigns stuff, and those people who wanted that Kevin Owens stuff, they're not buying anything else.
That's number one caveat. Number two caveat, they're including all Shield merch as Roman Reigns merch in those numbers. It's not like they divide it by 3 and give that third to Roman Reigns. They include all of it.
Fair enough. You want the debunk of that caveat? This was before the Shield reformed.
They reformed in December too.
And they haven't. And they reformed for what? 3 months, and they stopped selling merch.
So, but keep that in mind. So, okay, fine. Let's just say they're not including that in the total. All right. Also, on top of all that, this is not talking about T-shirt sales directly. This is talking about all merchandise. All merchandise, as in terms of toys and things that they sell in Kmart. But what this also includes is, let's say there is a WWE ring playset, and with this playset you get a free character. That free character happens to be, I don't know, Roman Reigns. They count that as a sale. Kind of like Nintendo has. Nintendo said the number one selling game for the original NES was Mario, because they also counted Mario with every unit sold. And in order to have the unit to have the Nintendo, you had to have Mario. So yes, it is, but there's also caveats. Who you thumbs up right now?
Andrew's saying, "Stop, Dave. You're wrong
About what?
about everything you're talking about."
Sales low on Reigns figures. That's what Bullet Club for Life says.
Well, and if that's fine, look, here's my big thing. You can say that, and that's fine. Maybe there is more stuff that he's on there, but everybody talks about how all wrestling fans are big and pissed off because Roman Reigns is the guy at the forefront, and all the other guys aren't getting that big of a push. What happened? What happened to Daniel Bryan? He was supposed to be like this big thing, right?
Oh, Daniel Bryan's your guy. He ain't mine.
And he came back. I'm not saying you. I'm talking about wrestling fans. He came back and he was this big thing. Everybody was so glad he came back. Why isn't his merchandise selling more than Roman Reigns? You want to know why? Because overall, and everybody doesn't want to admit this, that Roman Reigns is more over than everybody else on that roster with the majority of pro wrestling fans. You can look at me that way all you want, but it's the truth.
He is more over with the majority of wrestling fans.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, it's the vocal minority of fans who are the problem when it comes to guys like Roman Reigns. The whole big thing, and D-Bone, I've seen you talk about this, the typical Roman Reigns match. That's actually absolute crap because there's been a lot of things to dispute that. The match last week against, what's his name, Finn Balor is completely different than what you're putting up there. That's first and foremost. Second of all, just because 5,000 fans in the audience are booing Roman Reigns doesn't mean that everybody else in there is probably trying to cheer him and their kids and just being outshined by them, or their parents of kids who are like, yeah, sure, we like Roman, but we're just here for our children, so whatever. But those are the people who are buying merchandise. You want other guys to get over. You want other guys to be the biggest guy in the WWE. You want other guys to be the it guy in WWE. Buy their merchandise. Support them. Watch SmackDown, because I am tired of hearing this stupid crap that AJ Styles is the greatest wrestler in the WWE roster. Why is he not outselling Roman Reigns?
Like I said, I told you why. SmackDown is treated like the B show. Everybody on SmackDown is treated as the B show. That's the
Styles was on Raw for a long time at the same time as Roman Reigns.
And he wasn't pushed at that time, so that doesn't count. He didn't win the title until he got moved to SmackDown. So we'll start there. And I can't believe we're watching this match again. I thought this was finally over.
Well, he wants to face the man, not the demon. That was the whole thing.
That's amazing.
But that's first and foremost. Second of all, everybody talks about how Roman Reigns buries everybody. You want to know? You want to hear somebody you want to talk about burying people? Mm-hmm. Take all your favorite wrestlers over the last 3 years that have been in the WWE. Now put them in a match against AJ Styles. Who won that match? AJ Styles is if you really want.
We're looking at a guy right now who beat AJ Styles.
What, Corbin? What?
I meant Finn Balor, but fine, we'll count both of them. I was talking about Finn.
Here's my thing. It starts off with AJ going to SmackDown, winning the world title. He loses the world title, wins the U.S. title. Loses the U.S. title, wins it back. Okay. Loses the U.S. title, becomes world champion. He's beaten guys like Baron Corbin, beaten guys like Kevin Owens, beaten guys like Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay. Beating guys like Rusev, beating guys like Samoa Joe. These are guys that everybody in the WWE has been going crazy and gaga about. They should be the next big thing. They should be world champions. AJ Styles is beating them all. Does that not mean that AJ Styles is quote unquote buried?
No, because you just there's two guys in the ring right now, and that's what I'm saying. It's Roman. AJ didn't bury everybody because AJ loses a lot.
AJ doesn't lose a lot, yes, and if you want to talk about that, Reigns loses more than AJ.
I don't agree to that. To as many people?
Yeah.
I don't think so. But fine. Let's also continue your thought logic on this one. So, would you say Brock Lesnar was over?
Yeah, absolutely. So absolutely, Brock Lesnar was over.
Was he more over than Roman Reigns?
Arguably, but probably not. I don't think so. I think Reigns was well more over than him.
You think Reigns is more over than Brock Lesnar?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's interesting. Because Brock Lesnar is another example of a guy who, because he only showed up most of the time on major events or the day after major events, ratings went up. WWE sales for his stuff was pretty strong. So going by that rationale, if you're going to say Brock Lesnar is over, then that's fine, what you're looking at. And okay, that's clearly where you're coming from. And, I mean, I don't agree. I think it's very clear that Roman Reigns was bad for the industry, was bad for wrestling. I think that's undisputable.
Look, I'm not saying that.
And if Brock is bad for, and yeah, fine, Roman's there more often. But when we look at things, yeah, the WWE right now as a company, as a financial business, is doing better than they ever have been, allegedly, according to certain numbers. But it doesn't change the fact that their ratings are not. It doesn't change the fact that their attendance sales are not. It doesn't change the fact that other companies, like those behind All In, are succeeding when they never stood a chance before. And these things can't all be coincidences. Why is this happening? Why are all these things happening?
Why? I think the success of that, first and foremost, Andy, if merch sales, you want to talk about children? Sure. They're spending the money. You want to support your guys? Spend the damn money. That's what they want from you.
Technically, the parents are spending the money.
That's fine. They're the ones, but if a parent's, if my kid, turns out to be the biggest Baron Corbin fan in the world, I'm going to buy him a Baron Corbin shirt. But I'm also probably going to go on shop.
I am disowning him.
I'm also going to go on shop and buy myself a Finn Balor shirt.
I am putting him up for adoption because he's clearly not my child.
And Vinny, I think you're right. I think overall in the WWE, I think Seth Rollins might be the most over guy in the WWE. Maybe him, maybe Braun. I think that there's a choice between the two of them. But the same thing, Degenerate. You bring up a great point. So Austin and Rock were shoved down people's throats? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Rock lost all the time. Austin jobbed all the time.
Whoa. Austin jobbed all the time, too.
Let's see. Triple H. Let's start there. Put him over.
Let's see. No, actually, if you really want to go technical, Foley. If you're really getting technical, because that was that triple threat at SummerSlam.
But then when they went one-on-one, Austin always lost. Yeah, I understand that match, but he also lost to Triple H one-on-one plenty of times, not regaining the title. Austin put him over for sure. Okay, outside.
Okay, fine. Triple H, go ahead.
Okay, The Rock. Also, again.
Thank you, TJ.
What? What did TJ say? And stop cursing. You're making it hard. Okay, so yeah, Austin jobbed out to Triple H. We'll start there. As you pointed out, Foley. Austin also jobbed out to, let's see.
Thank you, TJ. When did Austin lose clean? What, to The Rock at that one WrestleMania?
Who said anything about clean? Who said anything about clean? Who said anything about clean? My point of the matter is, Austin was a big part of putting Triple H over, and Triple H.
Fine. Yes, he did the right thing for the business and put a guy over.
I don't think that was right.
That was listen. You can say whether or not it's it is what it is. That's who the company wanted. So he did the right thing by putting that guy over.
And let's also see, because here's my thing. Until when he was hot, he jobbed to Kane. Let's also bring that up. But
again, not clean.
It was the first blood
exactly.
match.
How are you jobbing if it's not clean? You're not jobbing out to somebody if you're not being beaten clean. I'm talking about a clean win over somebody. We know that a guy like The Undertaker's only lost clean like 6 times in his career, and
so you're saying Undertaker never put nobody over?
Oh no, Undertaker's put people over. Undertaker's only put like 6 people over in his career.
Hold on. Okay, here's the thing. First of all, first blood match, that is losing clean.
It was interference.
It was interference. Match.
It was interference.
That's like saying you used a weapon in a no DQ match. Yeah, guess what? That counts as clean. I'm sorry.
And my whole thing is that everybody likes to talk about how
and he lost to the Undertaker as well.
Like fans are always talking about how they should listen to the fans because we made Austin. No, the fans didn't make Austin. Austin started catching a little bit of steam. Sure, you know who made Austin? Triple H by doing the curtain call because that's why Austin won the King of the Ring because that was Triple H's spot.
Austin made Austin. Let's just call it what.
Oh no, I'm not saying it wasn't because of him. Yes, was Austin going to get over? At one point, absolutely, 100%. I don't think there was a chance that he wouldn't have gotten over. But it really was a coincidence that when he really started getting over was when he won King of the Ring, and it was because Triple H got hurt. He wasn't even there for the WWE's first choice.
I understand that.
And then wrestling fans like to talk about The Rock all the time, like he was this big, messiah, and the wrestling fans fought for him. You boot him out of the building, you chanted "Die Rocky, die," and Rocky sucks.
I don't know if the wrestling fans were, or like the hardcore wrestling fans, were really lobbying for Rock. I don't know if that's an accurate statement.
Well, I'm just saying. But then he became the biggest guy in the business when he turned heel because all the fans turned their back on him because that's not exactly what they really wanted.
Funny, and he brought in mainstream people
Yes.
because he was funny.
Yes, no, and I completely agree. I'm not
That's
saying
how
The
he
Rock,
got over, 'cause
I'm not
he's
saying
funny.
The Rock was bad or anything like that. All I'm saying is that wrestling fans like to think that they know better than everybody else, and they were the ones who chose like all these people. Let them get over organically. Don't shove them down our throats. What, you mean like John Cena, who got over organically, and now all of a sudden everybody bitched about that afterwards that he got shoved down our throats?
Yeah.
Cena got over organically.
Yeah,
You got exactly what you wanted.
And then he got shoved down their throats, which is a possibility.
But that's the same with everybody.
No.
And somebody wrote it before. What happens is that somebody gets hot and they put him in the driver's seat the entire time because they want to make money.
No,
that's what the company.
no,
that's what the
because
company's
here's-
always done.
here's-
That's what they did with Hogan.
No, yeah, exactly. Here was the way things used to be. The way things used to be once upon a time was WWE was really good at making stars, but they couldn't keep them. WCW was really good at keeping stars, but they really weren't good at making them. They usually just took the ball and ran with it and just kept the guy in the spotlight forever, way past their shark jumping prime. WWE would get somebody good and get them hot, and then they would start losing it all the time. Your Scott Halls, eventually your Kevin Nashes, but who cares? Same thing with Brett. Brett still had a really good win-loss ratio, but he wound up losing a lot more.
Did Corbin have this hold on before the match? Was this the entire commercial break? Did he just have that hold on?
Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. And Austin didn't get that title back. Austin would get screwed. Fine, it wasn't clean, but Austin lost. Screwed a lot.
Sure. Austin,
And that's the point.
Austin lost, but the thing is that nobody complained back in the day that Austin didn't put anybody else over clean.
No, but here's the thing.
But everybody
Here's the thing,
complains that Cena and Reigns don't put people over
but
clean.
Here's the thing. Right now, you're talking about how good this win was, or how big this is for Roman Reigns' Universal title. Why? Because he got screwed by Brock Lesnar at Greatest Royal Rumble. No one bitches about that. Okay? No one says that he fucking owned Brock Lesnar in Greatest Royal Rumble. He got screwed. This is a legitimate match. When he loses clean at WrestleMania, but then gets a rematch at Greatest Royal Rumble, everyone says, why? That doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't, from a storyline perspective. But then he technically wins that match, and then doesn't get the belt. Well, you know what? Now he has a reason. No one questioned. I mean, yeah, fine. People weren't happy that he got his match at SummerSlam, but no one was saying this doesn't make any logical sense. No, that makes logical sense. If you got screwed at Greatest Royal Rumble...
Oh,
yeah.
it wasn't even about that. He still had to earn it.
What?
He still had to earn it. No. It's not like they just gave it to him. He still had to earn it.
No, but it makes logical sense, is my point. All I'm trying to say is, when you do that, when you get screwed, that's fine. Is it jobbing? Okay, fine. If you want to say it's not really jobbing, okay, fine. I'm not going to split hairs here. But I am going to say that it does count. It does make a difference in the narrative. It does make a difference in the story, and it does make a difference on how people complain.
Yes, TJ, I got Dave the curse.
I did? What'd I say?
You said the F word.
Whoops.
Look. Look, here's my thing. I get where you're coming from. I'm not saying that from a storyline perspective, everybody has the job out clean and stuff like that. The thing is that wrestling fans like to make up their own opinion that don't apply to everybody, whether they like somebody or they don't like somebody. It's quite okay for AJ Styles to beat all of their favorite wrestlers all in a row and hold the championship for almost I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about his current world title run. He's beaten a lot of their favorite wrestlers and hasn't lost a match in how long, and has
yeah, that's called being the champion,
right? And that's fine. That's my point. Okay, and
he also lost to Ellsworth.
Yes, at one point, yes, he did. I'm not saying that he again that wasn't clean, but all I'm saying is this. The idea is that it's okay for AJ Styles to win all these matches in a row, but if Roman Reigns does the same thing, it's the worst thing in the world. It was okay that Austin spent most of his career looked at as the top guy, so he didn't put guys over clean, which I'm not complaining about. That's what top guys are supposed to do. They're not supposed to put many people over clean, because when they do, it's a big deal. It was a big deal when Hogan lost to Warrior. It was a big deal when Austin lost to Triple H.
That's if you're the top guy.
Right, and Roman is the top guy who's jobbing a lot more than any other. Yes, he is. Is he not positioned as the number one guy on the show? Whether or not you want to say it or not, or wrestling fans want to, he's being pushed as the top guy on the show, and he's jobbed clean to way more people than guys like Austin or Hogan or even Shawn Michaels during his heyday. I know throwing his name out there doesn't hold you much weight because you hate Shawn Michaels. Have.
If we're talking about before they got the title or when they were not champion, then no, because Austin lost to Bret a lot if we're going to count before their time. So that's my point.
This isn't before Roman's time. He had a world title before this.
So hold on. So you're saying between the Universal title run and his last WWE title run, he was still the guy?
Was he not positioned as the number one guy on the show?
So you're saying the guy doesn't matter anything else other than where you're positioned.
Absolutely.
And you're also saying,
yes, absolutely.
Because I
because
also find contradictory is how you're saying he's positioned as the guy, but you're also the same person who says he doesn't get booked into the main events, and you're tired, and you hate how people say he's being put in main event. He has a main event in it. You always say he doesn't main event all the time.
He doesn't.
Then how can he be the top guy? You can't be the top guy and not main event. And if he is main eventing, then he So which is it? Does he not main event all the time, or is he?
He doesn't have the main event all the time. Here's my big thing. When Randy Savage was heavyweight champion for that full year, who was the main focus of the company?
Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely, and that's my point. It doesn't matter if you have the title. It doesn't matter. Hogan was still positioned as.
But that's because SummerSlam's main event was Hogan and the Macho Man.
Yes, okay, fine. They were in a tag match.
The program worked around Hogan and the Macho Man.
WrestleMania's main event that year, though, was Macho Man winning the title.
That was WrestleMania 4. WrestleMania 5 was them going against each other.
Right.
And Hogan was the guy up until that point, was still the guy going into that when Macho Man won it. Okay, that was the main event. He wasn't in the main event because he just lost it to Andre in that same WrestleMania.
Well, I get that. What I'm saying is,
Hogan was the guy because he was the guy. Like it wasn't a change or anything. It wasn't that Macho Man was the guy, was in the main event, all that. In the main event, like Hogan was still there with him.
Well, but that's my point. So you can still not main event every show and still be.
But he did main event. He main event the next pay-per-view after.
That's the triple header. What is that?
I don't know. After Macho Man won it, the next pay-per-view, Hulk Hogan was in that main event,
and that's fine.
So that's why he was still the guy. That's my point.
And that's fine. And Roman Reigns is. You like to say it all the time. Roman Reigns, main evented 4 WrestleManias in a row. So that means he's being positioned as the top guy, right?
Also, but now that counts. That's what I'm saying. You always say that he is not being shoved down everyone's throat in the main event, but now
I'm saying he's not being shoved down everybody's throat because he's being positioned as, yes, the top guy, but he's also not the guy who is always the world heavyweight champion. He's also not the guy who's in like the constant driver's seat, and he jobs out during when he's the top guy. Yes, Roman Reigns is positioned as the main event player on Monday Night Raw. He has been. Absolutely.
And he main events most of the time.
All right, fine. If he main events most of the time, that's fine. But that still doesn't mean that he's shoved down my throat if he's not winning all those main events.
Okay, fine. Here's a question. Has there ever been someone who was shoved down your throat?
Hogan.
I see where this is all going.
No, in all honesty, I don't believe in the narrative of people being shoved down your throat. The WWE sees a guy, they say, "Oh, this guy can make us a lot of money," so they present him at the front of the show, at all costs because he's making them money. Roman Reigns is making the company money.
But as I've said, it's not about how much you are making, it's how much you could be making. And that's the bigger question here. Is he their best foot forward in terms of making money?
As of right now, it looks like it is.
I think not.
Who is outselling him right now?
Well,
give me the guy who's outselling him. If you want to, make the point that a guy like Finn Balor or AJ Styles or Samoa Joe or any of these guys could be the guy that could be the face of the company as of right now. Braun Strowman. Why aren't their merchandise selling more than Roman Reigns?
Because they're not being pushed to that level.
Oh, bullshit! Because you know that Braun's being pushed to that level.
No, he's not.
Absolutely, the guy's squashing people all over the place, and he's the focal. If Roman Reigns is in the focal point,
you're right. Because of his really lengthy title reign. Oh, wait. He just had one tag match title reign, and it was for one day. He doesn't get pushed. That's my point. Where is his gold? Okay, that is what matters.
All right. In all honesty, The only reason why we're having this conversation is because, yes, DJ, I did just curse, and I've held myself back for a long time because I curse all the time.
Yes, surprisingly.
In real life, but not on here. Hi, Jenna, by the way. Say hi to Jenna.
Hi, Jenna.
Thank you. We're being rude to everybody in the chat because we're arguing so much.
Yeah. Oh, bye, Andy JT.
So my thing is that if we didn't have a part-time champion, I guarantee Strowman probably would have had a title at one point. And TJ, it's hard if you guys curse because we have to click a button. Me and Dave can curse all you want, and there's no buttons you have to click to hear or unhear us.
Okay. Wait, what did it? I gotta admit, did Andy just leave?
Yeah, I think
because
so.
We're bored. Because he's bored.
No, I think Andy just had to go.
Oh well, I'm hoping so. All right, so we're okay. Sasha Banks is injury prone. Wow, where did we get from that? Okay. Curse that.
Yes, it would be amazing, but we have to click on things.
Yeah.
Dave, when are you guys gonna sing? I'm always down to sing, only if Dave does though.
Braun is still more over than Roman. Listen to the crowd. Braun gets and
So then, if Braun's more over than Roman, there you go. That's exactly my point. If Braun's more over than Roman, he's still not selling more merchandise than Roman, so he's not.
He's not getting pushed.
BS. The guy is the money.
Where's his gold? Where's his gold? Where's his gold?
When does he lose? When does he lose?
Where's his gold?
When does he lose?
Where's his gold?
His gold was on a man ape for a pale man ape for 15 years.
I'll put it this way. Let's say there's a guy on 205 Live who has a undefeated. I know there's not. Let's just say there's a guy on 205 Live who has a longer winning streak than Braun Strowman.
There we go.
Let's say there's a guy on 205 Live who has a longer winning streak than Goldberg. Right now. Do you think that will matter? He could win only once. You think he's going to sell more merch on 205 Live? No, he can't.
No, but when you're being booked on the main show that way...
That's not how it works.
That's exactly how it works.
Absolutely not. If you are the champion, that automatically, or if you're in the main event of WrestleMania, if you're in the main event of anything, that automatically adds totals to your dollars. That automatically adds to your work. That adds to your
Strowman's main evented too. You act like the guy's never been in a main event before.
And it's still not, but it's not enough to Roman Reigns. And that's my point. If Braun Strowman main event,
Braun Strowman's about to main event the pay-per-view coming up
main events, WrestleMania after WrestleMania, and has a title, wins a title, and holds on to that title, then we'll see.
And you know that's going to happen.
Yeah, and that's my other problem is it's got to happen in a timely fashion, because if it doesn't, and he's also got to be booked in a compelling way, or at least in a high-profile way. It doesn't count if he gets the title and then loses it in a month. That doesn't count. I'm not giving you that.
No, I'm fine with that. I'm not disagreeing with you. The point that I'm making is that everybody likes to bitch about things that happen in wrestling, but when it happens to somebody who they support, it's totally okay. When it happens to somebody that they don't like, it's the worst thing in the world. The point of me bringing up AJ Styles was the fact that AJ Styles has beaten if Roman Reigns would have held a world title and would have beaten in succession Rusev, would have beaten Samoa Joe, would have beaten Kevin Owens, and would have beaten Shinsuke Nakamura. That's it. The wrestling fans would have lost it, said that they don't understand what the WWE is doing. Roman Reigns is burying everybody. He's the worst. I can't believe they do it. When AJ Styles does it, it's okay. When Alexa Bliss holds a women's championship for 2 years, nobody says that it isn't okay.
A lot of people were saying it wasn't okay.
All right, her last reign, yes, that was that. I'll give you when she won the title with the Money in the Bank cash in. Before that, nobody batted an eyelash because she's got a nice ass and they think she's pretty.
I don't think it's that nice. But anyway, like I said, face. But anyway, degenerate, yes, I do think he does it wrong on purpose. But I don't think he's doing it wrong. I think he's doing a different move. Because he has done it the right way before. So I think he was just letting know. But anyway, so yeah. So, no. Yeah, but once again, it's talked about believability. It's all about believability. People just don't believe Roman Reigns beating these people.
You're more than welcome to come on here whenever you want, Mike, so you can try to bury me too. Everybody else does.
Who? Oh, my God. Yes, I definitely should bring back the other guy, because the other guy has enough common sense to realize that you give the people what they want.
Jenna, I'm not saying I don't see a difference between AJ Styles and Roman Reigns.
I think he doesn't.
What I'm saying is that because
that's what I'm saying. It's about believability. That's all there is to it.
Despite if you want believability, Roman Reigns should be the most over guy in the world because he looks like he should beat the crap out of everybody he faces.
He doesn't.
And despite the narrative that's being spun, I'm actually a huge AJ Styles fan. I know it doesn't sound like it. I'm just using AJ Styles as an example. I'm glad that AJ is on this streak. I'm
He
glad
just
he's
likes
the
his stubbornness more.
I'm glad he's the longest reigning champion on SmackDown. I think his title reign has been great.
Facial expressions. You think people only like Alexa because she's good looking? Yeah, Raphael brings a good point. Then why wasn't Eva Marie pushed? Because she was definitely attractive. I moved to New York and taking your job, Albert. Please do. Imagine David get an ambulance. I would love Floppy 8 on this stream. I don't care. I'm totally down for that. It means it's just a double standard, and I kind of agree with that. The other guy sucks.
And you know, Bullet Club for life. You're gonna say I have no talent. You're just mad because you don't agree with my opinion. And that's the exact same problem that I have with wrestling fans. Wrestling fans are the first people to sit there and tell you, wait, what do you mean you're a big fan of Roman Reigns? You're the worst person in the world. But God forbid,
it's not just wrestling fans. That's everybody. That's everybody in the modern era. If someone disagrees with you, they're the worst person on earth. That's really just how people are nowadays.
Fine enough.
Look at politics, which is why I'm saying, because if anyone disagrees
right.
with you politically, you consider them a moron and pure evil.
No, I completely agree. But the thing is that I hate the idea where like people are like, what do you mean you like Roman Reigns? You're an idiot. Roman Reigns is the worst. But God forbid you said anything bad about somebody that they like. What? We can't all have a difference of opinion? We can all like who we like and don't like who we don't like.
Wow. The thumbs up have gone away and a thumbs up down is there. Wow. What is going on around here?
People don't like the fact that they get told what the truth is.
Yeah, that's it. This is that soon, especially to Joe. Albert.
Whoever gives the thumbs down, I'm going to drop kick.
Thank you, IR Monkey. Well, you're not going to find out. Tama is better at talent.
Well, they should own up to it.
They're probably not going to.
Yeah, Tama is better than Reigns. What's your point?
Just read a man at Raw.
That's the same thing I told you.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely not the truth.
I am definitely not at Raw, so I don't know what is being done about that. But seeing the fact that the show's still on, I feel like that's not true. Ugh. Well, they blocked Idiot?
Yeah, really.
Interesting.
Or was it stupid?
What?
Or was it stupid? I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, I saw that. Dave's favorite wrestler in the world is going to be on Raw next week.
Oh no!
Yep.
I won't be here next week. Forget it. Alberto seems like Alberto.
I'm not.
I like you being called Alberto.
Yeah, I don't because if the wrestling fans that immediately thinks they can
right.
just do the Del Rio thing afterwards.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, never mind.
Yeah.
All right, good point.
Yeah. Look, I'm not. Look, my thing is that, and yeah, it's most modern fans. I love Star Wars. I hate Star Wars fans. Because they're both a bunch of blithering idiots who believe that because they watch something, can do better than people who do things for a profession. And that's the same thing as wrestling fans. I can write a better show than the WWE can.
Never been a big Star Wars guy. I like it, but,
Double A, you can call me Big Al. That's fine. You're the only one who are allowed.
I've never been the biggest Star Wars guy.
That's fine.
Star Wars fans always confused me.
That's fine. Look, and I'm not. That's the thing. That's fine. And that's where I come in. That's fine. I'm okay with you guys. I'm okay with people who don't like Roman if they just don't like Roman because they didn't like Roman from the start. I'm not okay with the narrative that gets spun that...
What is this commercial?
Don't know. I've seen this before. It's really weird. I don't like the narrative that Roman Reigns started getting booed the majority of the time because... And I know Dave's going to disagree with me of this, with that whole Daniel Bryan thing. And I think that what happened is that it's popular now for wrestling fans to revolt against the guys that the WWE puts in a position to succeed. So when Cena went away and they didn't have anybody to do it, what are they going to do? Oh, here's Reigns. He's going to be that guy. Let's start booing him now.
As you were saying, AJ's positions, according to you, AJ's position is to succeed and they love him. So that can't be true either.
Because AJ wrestled on the Indies. So that all of a sudden excludes him from anything bad that could ever be said negatively about him.
And what define indies? Again, were you talking about, TNA?
Yes.
Jeez.
They're not the indies?
No, because they're contracted to wrestle there. Therefore, by definition, they're not independent wrestling.
I don't care. They don't count.
So by definition, no, but...
Well, fine. He also worked for a whole bunch of other...
Ring of Honor, also technically not independent wrestling.
Andrew Sullivan is the thumbs down. I'm going to super kick him.
3 thumbs down round now. Well, thanks, Albert. Thanks a lot for opening that up. Can of worms up. But the thumbs up went up. Great. This might be the lowest rated live stream yet.
People can't handle the truth.
Or it's the fact that we've just been yelling at each other, not really reading until now. So, but yeah, we'll continue that. I noticed the Friday live streams when it's just me tend to go over a little bit better. I tend to notice that. It's interesting. Just an interesting coincidence. Turning heel, he's been here.
I've been the heel on this podcast since I sat in this chair.
I say before that.
Probably.
Say somehow before that.
Probably.
I never liked Roman from the start, but to be fair, I took a hiatus from watching wrestling and didn't while the Shield was together. Okay.
Fair enough, but I mean, D-Bone, was your initial reaction that this guy was getting booed, so you just decided, like, okay, I guess I'm going to boo him too?
Okay, so how about this? Let's just hypothetically go, because we've done this before. Let's just hypothetically say that you are correct in your hypothesis when it comes to Mr. Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Even if that's the case, even if that's so, then you adjust your plan accordingly. And that's what I've always been saying, and that's what these guys are saying. They're not being heard. We're not. It's very clear we're not being heard. And that's what people have a problem with. It's not, I said it before, and I'll say it again in case I haven't made it
You are
clear.
being heard because AJ Styles is the world champion on SmackDown.
No.
But yet SmackDown gets...
No, I cannot stress this enough. SmackDown is the B show. You said it yourself with 205 Live. Same thing with NXT. Tommaso Ciampa, I think, is the most over heel in the company, and possibly even in wrestling. You could make the argument, but none of these guys are going. You're not counting that as a run. SmackDown is the B show. I'm sorry, I like it better mostly overall, but it will never change the fact that SmackDown is the B show.
Okay, so if that's...
So that doesn't count.
No, so then that's the case. What, if you want you want WWE to listen to you, don't make it the B show anymore. Start watching that. If you are a vocal minority and your champion is AJ Styles, stop watching Raw and start getting SmackDown's ratings higher than Raw. Then it's not the B show anymore.
And that has happened. That had happened. There have been episodes where SmackDown did better than Raw.
Episodes. Make it permanent. This is the thing. This is why I get mad when wrestling fans say, hey, you know what? We don't like the fact that this and that is going on. Then don't watch Raw. If you like the fact that your world champion is AJ Styles, watch SmackDown.
No, but that's not how people operate. You can't just say, oh, do you like AJ Styles? Yes. Do you like Roman Reigns? No. So just watch the AJ Styles show and only. Well, that means I got to stop watching Seth Rollins. That means I have to stop watching Dolph Ziggler. That means I have to stop watching Finn Balor. That means I have to stop watching Braun Strowman. That means I have to stop watching Bray Wyatt. Why? Because just to balance your point out, just because if Roman Reigns truly sucks, I have to say goodbye to all those guys because of my hatred of Roman Reigns? No.
Okay,
it's not going to happen.
Okay, then that's fine. Then support SmackDown more, because I guarantee you, if we take a poll, I guarantee you more people on this stream watch Raw than they do SmackDown. And we're talking about 28 people who are big wrestling fans, big enough to be watching.
I'm willing to bet they watch both.
Maybe they do, but I guarantee that if we had to come down to a stringent number, even if it was 1 or 2, Raw is going to get the edge.
Thank you, Jenna. I thumbs up that comment. No. But yet again, it has to do with all the people I'm saying. Support the more you watch both shows. And that's if you're a Nielsen rating household, which you're probably not. But so that's exactly my point. There's other backup around Roman Reigns' product, the show he's currently on. And we know that. And we know that whenever WWE senses SmackDown beginning to turn the tide, they start turbo fronting Raw. There's a reason why they stuck the entirety of the Shield on Raw. They didn't stick the entirety of the Shield on SmackDown.
No, you're right, but they
back Raw when Raw starts.
But they put all of your internet wrestling favorites on one show, and this is not just now. This is historically most. But this is historic. The idea.
I don't even know about most.
Most. Well, who's the
biggest name is Finn Balor, and he's on Raw.
Balor and Rollins are the only two.
But they're really big too. They're really big.
But so are Styles, Nakamura, Bryan, Joe. I mean, those are huge, huge names from other companies. WWE has wanted to, fans have wanted to see booked in WWE for a long time. And if they're not being watched, then. And here's the big thing. The big thing is that most people who complain don't watch the product. It's the same reason for why and I brought this example up before, when Zack Ryder won the U.S. title and Daniel Bryan, Zack Ryder, and CM Punk opened the show standing in the center of the ring, all of them with championship belts, it was the lowest rated Monday Night Raw of the entire year. You gave the fans what you wanted, and predominantly, they don't show up after you do it. So why are we going to keep doing it? Why don't we just keep doing what we're doing, where it's giving us steadier ratings, and not parade ourselves around to give the fans what they want because they don't show up for it.
You can't compare one. You can't give it one show and then say it didn't work and therefore that
the ratings were down from there on out. And that was with Punk as champion. They started coming back up when Punk started to get a little bit better on the mic, started started getting back to the old pipe bomb stuff. But the thing is, the SmackDown ratings were in the toilet with Bryan as champion.
But again, who was main eventing? Who was main eventing those pay-per-views when CM Punk had that belt? Look, I'm the first one. I know this is unpopular, but my big thing is Daniel Bryan. CM Punk had a series of matches with Daniel Bryan during his title run. Daniel Bryan is a money draw. I keep saying it. It's not again anything against him, but he's just not a money draw. I don't think he is. I don't think he ever was.
So I'm not saying to stop watching it totally. I'm saying make sure you watch SmackDown more.
How can you watch more? Either you watch the show or you don't.
Because most people don't. That's my point.
You really realize the statement. Watch SmackDown more. You may watch Raw, but make love to SmackDown. Like, what are you like? I'm just saying. I watch both. It's just what everybody does.
Okay,
I'm willing to bet most people here watch both.
Actually, two people in this chat just said that they don't even watch the product. They watch the clips on YouTube.
Okay.
And Jenna, I'm being completely serious. You can fact check me on everything I say. It's 100% accurate. I wouldn't spoil. I hate fake news stories. I hate, that's why I hate Dave Meltzer, because Dave Meltzer is wrong 60% of the time.
He called you boo.
Look, you guys can sit there and tell me I suck because I'm giving you I'm giving you what is absolutely a truthful narrative that people don't like to hear.
When you say Roman Reigns is over, that is opinion. That is not fact. TJ Fritz he's like the anti-Harry. Yeah. It seems like maybe you're getting over. Maybe
Andrew too.
I was. This is why I watch this podcast and not your Friday show, because Albert calls you out.
That's right.
What mistakes? And it's odd that mistakes has been typo, but I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Fair enough.
But what was these things? What mistakes is there? What factual accuracy am I?
Thank you, Double A. I appreciate that.
Double A, and I'm making Big Al hashtags. I know, we noticed that. I just watch marks like you online. Oh, okay. Fire Albert and Ban. Nikki Bella, okay. Harry back true to form.
And Arthur, yeah, I actually completely agree to a point. I think Punk got the
pipe bomb.
Yeah, he had the pipe bomb, and that's what got Punk over. And that was great. For a small, yeah, I see that. I'm not even acknowledging it. For the small minority of fans who knew what was going on. A lot of wrestling, we all take for granted the fact that a lot of wrestling fans don't sit here and look and watch shows like this. A lot of wrestling fans don't discuss wrestling online. It's a hobby. It's not a lifestyle like we've made it. Wrestling fans will sit there and they'll watch a show for a little while, and they'll be like, okay, that was cool.
Double A, are you just trying to get someone else to hire you for banner designs?
I would. But by the same point, I do not use Chris Jericho's catchphrase against me.
She just did.
That is absolutely BS. So that's my thing. So did I, man. I love Triple RP. I loved Punk before the pipe bomb. I loved Punk when he was in Ring of Honor. I loved Punk when he was in TNA. All right? That's the thing that gets lost all the time on me. Because I know I can sit there and I'll talk about Roman Reigns all the time. But I loved Punk. Daniel Bryan's one of my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time. He likes Daniel Bryan
more than I do.
Bret Hart is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Chris Jericho is my favorite wrestler of all time. These are guys that I love. I'm not saying I dislike anybody less.
Would you rather? Here's your options. In their prime, they're all together in the same company. You got your Bret Harts. You got your Bret Hart, you got your Daniel Bryan, you got your CM Punk,
you know what my answer is.
You got Roman Reigns.
It's obviously
not. Pushing out of all of that.
Roman Reigns isn't the answer.
Okay, just checking.
Roman Reigns isn't my answer.
But do you think who do you think makes the most money out of all of them for your company?
Who makes the most money?
Who do you think would make the most money out of those guys in your company? Who would you put
as the top merch seller?
Yeah.
Ugh, it's tough. Maybe Balor, because I keep him as the demon for a lot longer.
I didn't say Balor.
Oh, you didn't say Balor?
No.
Who, give me your names.
Bret Hart, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and AJ Styles, and Roman Reigns. And keep in mind, you got to go.
I think it's Punk 1, and I think Reigns might be 2. I think what a lot of people don't realize that Reigns speaks to a certain part of the
think he
wrestling
does,
fan
but-
that isn't the people who are here discussing it.
Look, I think I think his position is. I think your position in the company matters. I think the place in the card matters.
Oh, absolutely. I
and
100%
I think
agree.
that backs up how much money you make. I think that's how much revenue you have to do with it. Okay, and Roman Reigns being the top merch seller right now, I don't think is a big deal. Same thing like John Cena being, even when John Cena was the biggest merch seller, I don't think that's a big deal either. Because yeah, John Cena may have in total made more money than Austin, but it wasn't in any one year. It was a slow, torturous
look,
kill.
I completely
And he got
agree.
there off of longevity alone.
And
But
I
people
completely,
wanna-
I'm not disagreeing with
But
you.
people want to bring him up as if he's actually in any way, shape, or form in contention.
Ambrose is finally speaking.
Oh, okay, cool. But they want to talk about it as if in any way, shape, or form Cena's in contention. He's not. And that's the point. When you look at Austin, Rock, and Hogan, they were the top merchant sellers. You know, they were at the forefront. That's a very different animal than Cena. But people want to sit there and clap Cena and say, hey, yeah, Cena's the top merchant, sold more after like 20 years. That's not the same thing. He's not in
no.
contention. The product
I'm not-
suffered.
I'm-
The product went down with the Cena formula.
The product went down with the WWE's writing and their decision to
Right.
become a
Right.
PG company. But that also enhanced the WWE's revenue. So when people sit there and they talk about ratings going down and the show collapsing, the WWE is making more money.
And no one's arguing that. No one's
TJ,
arguing
you
that.
are my personal hype man.
And nobody's arguing that. But the thing is, and it's been said by wrestling purists a lot, is do you want to be the best company in the world or the best wrestling company in the world? And if you want to be the best company in the world, fine.
That's what they want.
Fine.
That's exactly what they
Fine.
want.
But you're going to alienate a lot of wrestling fans when you do that. That's undeniable.
And that's fine. If you want, you're alienating them, fine.
And then they're
Alienate
going to
them.
be mad about it.
So then
And then they're going to be mad about it.
But
That's
if
how it
you
works.
then if you don't like what you're watching, stop watching it. When a TV show sucks, I stop watching it.
But it's not black and white. It's like, hey, you want to complain about Rick, but you really like Daryl. That's the point. That's the point right there. You're going to keep watching for Daryl, even though Rick may annoy you. I don't watch Walking Dead, by the way. I was just throwing that out.
I that was lost on me because I had no idea.
Oh, that was a Walking Dead reference.
Oh, okay.
What show do you watch?
The Office. What do we watch?
Huh?
What do we watch in common? I don't think we watch anything in common.
Probably not.
I gotta go. I got a show to do.
All right, yeah, Edward's got a good show.
We'll pick this up next week. I'll yell at you guys more. Thank you for all who supported me. And despite the fact of me being the heel on this show, anybody who gave it a thumbs down deserves a super kick.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to, you still have to back up the show he's on. That's my point. You have to back up the show that he's on.
That's right.
If you like him, you know.
That's right. All right. Facebook.com/SM Sessions Podcast Network. I did a whole 40-minute video on this the other day. And Harry, I don't care if you hate me. And Double A, thank you. I'll see you guys next week. And yeah, if you want to yell at me more, just go on Facebook and like and subscribe.
One person took the thumbs down away, so that's good.
Thank you. And
Maybe they'll all go away as soon as you leave.
maybe. I hope so. I'll leave now then.
Howard is gone. Tim Castillo, he's upper. I'll stay on just a little bit longer.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Stay on longer without me. Let's see if all your thumbs down go down.
Yeah, that is what I'm testing. That's what I'm testing.
What's up,
They probably won't, but yeah, let's see if we can get rid of these 2 thumbs down right now. That's who we. Hey, what's up, Avi?
They're still there.
Ah, one went away. Stop showing up. You're ruining it. Get away.
I don't like any of you guys.
Be gone.
Actually,
be gone.
no, there are a lot of you guys I do like.
One is probably legit because there's always one. But yeah, so there's always one. So now it's back down to the normal quota as soon as you leave.
Well, so good. At least it means that one person who watches your show religiously every week for
I'm-
some reason doesn't like you.
No, I'm pretty sure I know who it is. The stats went up. Yeah, instantaneously as soon as he goes away. All right, anyway, so does 2 mics work in stereo? There you go. I turned it off. I removed my... Thank you, TJ Fritz. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. Okay. So what do you guys want to talk about? Sorry I was ignoring you. Do you watch Cobra Kai? I watched the first 2 episodes for free. All right, so what do you guys want to talk about? I'll hang out for a little bit, a little while longer. My expectations for WWE overall not that high. That is true, and I feel the same way. Geez, that generates more heat than Ciampa. Yeah, no, he's good at it. Enjoy that world. Yeah, well, Double A. Yeah, you turned on me pretty fast there. I think Double A turned to you. Oh, thumbs down came back. Get rid of it. Even if you like Albert on the show, that's not helping his case. Owens got a big pop. Good. Kevin Owens, another big indie wrestler who is not on SmackDown right now. You're backing out Albert. Unless they were all. Oh, and their 3 are back. Wrestling Man 23. Hey, just getting here. Missing all the heat. Is KO misused right now? I think so, yes. By this past. Andrew Sullivan left him. Why did you come here then? Double A is a Seth Rollins backstabber. I want Becky Lynch to destroy Charlotte and everybody. Yeah. Over the left, did Dave just fire up? No, he has to do his other show. He's still doing mesnradio.com. You just have to. He's just doing it about football with his previous partner before I came on. Dave, I'm back, everybody, man. I never turn here because I'm a tweener. Ah, cool. We need to talk about that collab. Yes. I watched WrestleMania 15 last weekend. Cool. That's a good one. All right, so that's just shifting, going back and forth. What do you think about Neville being released? I think it's good for him. We were talking about that for the All In show and whether or not he should be in there. Whether or not he should be, or we want to see him in All In or not. You can check it out on Wrestling with Wrestling. I'll try to put it up as soon as I possibly can. How did you find this channel anyway, Andrew Sullivan, if you like Albert so much? AJ put you guys put guys over because he made them look good. He didn't kick out of their finishers repeatedly. Wow, that's a good point, Mario. Thrash Panda, when I watched your honest promo about Bullet Club, I thought I'd seen it before for some reason. Oh, think you did. Yeah, I'm a heel then, because I was just kidding, Double A. WWE doesn't care about us, only their stockholders. Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, in all indie darlings on Raw. Yes, TJ Fritz, absolutely correct. How can I get a hold of you, by the way? Favorite indie wrestler today? Depends on what you classify as indie there. Wow. WrestleMania 15. What was the main event? Rock versus Austin. Dave, are you down with the Hounds? I like the Shield. Why doesn't WWE listen to their audience today? They've always tripped me out. Form your WWE what ifs. Oh, from WWE what ifs. Oh. So, what if I made what if Roman Reigns didn't suck? Dave, do an honest promo on Nikki Bella. Why? So you could get mad at me? Nope, not touching that one. Dave, watch your 1 year behind the scenes today. I want to be your... Set the bar higher, IR Monkey. Yeah, I'm kidding as well, Dave. You're my guy, bro. Back at you, Double A. Shield or Bullet Club? Bullet Club? That's tough. PG didn't kill anything. Ring of Honor is PG. That's not a bad point. NXT is PG. That's also a good point. Diggy Don Dalla, what's up? Who will win, Haku versus Lesnar? Haku, what is listening to the fans? Firing Roman Reigns? Not firing him. No, I wouldn't say firing him, but just, I mean, the Brock thing is a real problem. The Brock, was a real problem. So I'll start there. I was hooked after the Heels or Faces video. That's what I meant. Cool. That is one of the popular ones. I did like that idea. KO versus Seth in a Continental title match. Sounds good. Kill Steen Kill. Yes. Would still consider... Like I said, technically no, because if you have contracted wrestlers, you're technically not independent. The definition of independent wrestler is being independent and not contracted to any company. Dave, in your next credits, can I get a mention? Again? Credits? When do I have credits? Bullet Shield. Wow, that's a cool name. On his promo on Robert. Oh. Were? What? Dave, what's one of the best matches you've seen in the 2000s? A lot of Finn Balor matches. Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, Finn Balor, AJ Styles. And this is just recently, or within a couple of years. Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream. DIY Revival. No wonder I don't have any interest in Ring of Honor nowadays. David Albert, my man. The Shield should be monsters again. Well, the fact that they have two of the top two singles titles, I think, is pretty strong. Those honest promos better. Chris Benoit, that's going to be a rough one. Bad booking is what kills WWE. It's just a lot of bad booking that happens coming around PG era. Thoughts on All In pay-per-view? Well, we definitely talked about that. It's going to be on Wrestling with Wrestling. We're going to be talking about that. But I'm very excited for All In. Going to have a prior engagement, so I'm not going to be able to watch it, but live. But whatever. Brock Lesnar is cool, but I was at a show that he came back in 2012. So selective. Glad you know what I meant. Yeah. Best WrestleMania main event ever? Oh, it's tough. I probably should. What style of wrestling are you into? Canadian is my favorite, if I have to pick one. Benoit was one of the greatest technical wrestlers in history. Absolutely was. Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch at Who's Hotter? I say Alexa Bliss. Honest promo on me has to be done before one on Albert. Whoever said that. I'll let you guys write your own. How's that? Should WWE keep the brand split? Nope. I don't like the brand split. Shield sucks nowadays. Well, they just reunited again, so we'll see on that. Thoughts on Kevin Sullivan? I think it's ridiculous. There's a possibility to it. Just because, heck, anything's possible. But yeah, I think it's ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. I wish it was true. That way we could talk about Benoit again. Thoughts on pay-per-view in Australia being on at 5 in the morning in middle Eastern time? Well, it's got to be. I understand that. It's just the way things are. Peyton Royce is hotter than Alexa. Well, to each their own. Why does my stepson Albert have anger issues? Does he need a... Probably. He's from Staten Island, so he can't help it. That's just how he is. I think 2 decades with no competition is what led to bad booking. Yeah. I'm starting to really like Liv Morgan. Yeah. I think they're close. I like that Liv Morgan's taller, but yeah. I think they're close. What would your wrestling name or gimmick be? I would have to be in any way, shape, or form a contender for being a wrestler for that to happen. Women's mid-card titles, they don't push the one title they have good enough, so why should I think they'll have any hope of having mid-card titles? The same thing in NXT, they just don't have the time. There's one new OSW review episode on yesterday. Yes, it was on... Yes, it's had Lex Luger on the cover, and I knew it yesterday, and I forgot. I want to say the Royal Rumble, but I am not sure. 7 from WCW. Will Dean and Seth win tag belts again? I wouldn't mind it if they do, but then Seth will have 2 and Dean will have 1. Yeah, Staten Island guys are a special breed. You don't think they should have the brand split, but do you think they should keep all the titles, but just... No, I think they should have 1 main title, 1 mid-card title, maybe 2, but maybe even a tertiary title and tag belts, and a women's title, and that's it. So he's from that borough, Dave. Yes, he is. How do you feel about ECW? Love ECW. Very much miss it. Liv Morgan is hot, but Alexa is just one. I say the thing about Alexa is her face to me. Her face is just so amazingly pretty to me. It just makes me dumbfounded. Royal Rumble 1993. Okay, it was a Royal Rumble. I thought so. Dave would be a Matrix guy if he wrestled in sunglasses and trench coat. Does Roman drop at Hell in a Cell? I wish. No. But I doubt it. I wish, but I doubt it. How will these regional NXT brands feed talent to the main roster? I hope they don't. Give the women their own brand. I am not opposed to that. I am probably one of the youngest guys here in the chat. How old are you, Double A? What's a dream match you want to see? That's possible or one that I haven't seen yet? Because if it's possible, Daniel Bryan and Shinsuke Nakamura I'd really like to see. They have to downside the roster or alternate between wrestlers. Do you prefer the Shield together or apart? It's tough. I kind of wanted them back together a while ago, but now I'm kind of at the point where I don't want to see them ruin it because they came back in December and it didn't work. And okay, yeah, people got injured, things happen. I get it, but just let it go. I don't want to see them ruin it and split it. I know everyone wants us to say, they're saying Dean Ambrose turn heel. I don't want to see Dean turn heel. It's It's the same thing, except last time it was Seth that turned heel, and this time it's going to be Dean to turn heel. Who cares? I don't need the story again. I don't need to see them feud again. I never need to see those three guys ever face each other again. At least not for a very long time. Andrew Sullivan's 12. Well, that explains that. Thoughts on Hogan Wrecking Ball commercial? I didn't see it. Worst wrestler in WWE right now? Baron Corbin. Dave got a bounce. Still boo on Albert. See you on Friday. Nice IR Monkey. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good one. TJ Fritz is younger than Double A. Arthur, Justina looks. All right, but on that note, how would you react if Nikki Bella beats Ronda? I probably wouldn't react. I'm not invested in Ronda. I'm really not. But they had to get the Shield back together. How else will they stop? Yeah, I get from their agenda. It's fine if you like Corbin, but I really he's see. Here's the thing. I think Baron Corbin is worse than Roman Reigns. So the Shield should just bum rush people for a while. What I miss? Not much. Dave, is it rude to ask how old you are if you don't want to respond? I've casually brought it up before. I'm in my mid-30s. You know, I brought it up enough times. Isn't it crazy that there are so many tag teams that don't see the light of day? Yes. Too quiet without Albert. Well, it's definitely more quiet. But isn't it the best idea to turn Dean heel? Was relatively hot because he isn't going to be a top guy with Roman set there. I understand that philosophy, but that's kind of why I'm hesitant on them getting back together, because it almost paints you into a corner where you have to do that, and I don't want them to do that because it's just the same old tired narrative. I'd rather him be on a separate show. I'd rather be on SmackDown. If he turned heel in SmackDown and it had nothing to do with Shield, I'd be more fine with that. You know, being in the Shield boxes you into a corner. What wrestling style do I least enjoy? I don't want this to come across the wrong way because I like hardcore wrestling, but in some ways I would say hardcore. The way ECW did Extreme Wrestling was fine. I thought they did it, not everybody, but I think many of the people did Extreme, like Rob Van Dam. You can't deny he's not a very good wrestler, and yes, he also included weapons. But when it comes to some like really, really crazy feds where they just do grotesque beatings and there's no wrestling to it, it's just them beating the crap out of each other with weapons and cutting each other as badly and brutally as they possibly can. That's not wrestling to me. That's not what I came to see. I say this example all the time. That this is the worst thing I ever saw that really turned me off was I saw a match where two guys going against each other and they build a home entertainment center together, like a shelving unit. But instead of the shelves, they put in glass and they held it in with barbed wire. They stopped wrestling against each other to help together to put together this shelving unit and replace the shelves with glass. Then they put each other through it. It was the most ridiculous thing I ever saw. It's like punch, 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 get this thing, and they stopped and they assembled it, and it was the stupidest thing I ever saw. I just couldn't take it seriously. Like I love ECW Extreme Wrestling. I like it when hardcore wrestling is done well. You know, it's really extreme wrestling, but when it's done well, I like it. But when it's done poorly and there's no wrestling involved, no storytelling, no anything, then it's stupid to me. The graphic designers in this chat. Any other mid-30s? I thought, yeah. Oh, early 20s, good. Oh, I got carded over the weekend, which was surprising to me because that hasn't happened forever. I'm like, whew. Opinion Catch as Catch Can. I love Catch as Catch Can. Is it good that Corbin can actually get booed as a heel? No, because he was getting booed anyway, because that's why he became a heel. Let the Rollins story play out. Like I said, to me, it is played out. Early 20s, yeah. I'm glad that I'm still getting that again. Bye, Dave and others. Have a good night, guys and girls. Have a good night, Andrew Sullivan. Awesome316 says, gotta go to sleep. All right. I was just going to ask about that IC. You saw the IC. You saw it? Put together show. Unit starts fight. It doesn't stop them. I missed the Nexus too. Is there anything that's almost turned you off to wrestling? Yeah, Triple H. And Stephanie McMahon. You hear Jason Sensation thing? No. You like All Japan Women? Cool. The podcast was great last week. Thank you. Dave, have any of your fans met you in person? Yeah, a couple. When I go to, I've had people in Capital Wrestling, including wrestlers themselves, mention that they watch my show. NXT, somebody caught just a guy sitting in front of me, turned around and just told me that he liked my show. Like he turned around to say something to me, and then he recognized me, and then he told me. Like independent indie shows, but then again, I go to more indie shows. But it usually happens at indie shows. People recognize me. NXT was like the biggest show. Like it was the first WE show I went to that someone recognized me. Who do you think WWE champion in the future? It's got to be Braun. I hope Raw and the SmackDown Live gain individual identities once the new TV deals kick in. Maybe they could do a losers breakup match or Shield or whatever. Yeah, they could. FMW is a legendary promotion. Yeah, I'm not going to sleep even though it's 2:20 a.m. Don't worry, I'm calling it quits. Favorite anime? I'm not a big anime guy, but if I have to pick, it's going to be something old. It's going to be like the original Voltron, maybe. I don't think Teen Titans Go, the other Teen Titans show. I don't know if that counts, but I think being cheered as a heel is fine because they're getting good heels. Ciampa is getting booed because it's okay. That one guy you love, yeah. Okay, so yeah, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. If you ever see Dave. Oh, I know you. Cool. All right, guys. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm out of water and I'm thirsty. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Check out WrestlingWithWrestling.com. Also, check out Capital Wrestling on Twitch. Check out Capital Wrestling. I'm on there. I've also started doing Dave Knows Capital Wrestling. I get a segment on A View from the Capitol where I talk about Capital Wrestling and also talk about more on what's going on. And you can also see me on this channel and Wrestling with Wrestling as well. And also, yeah, the comic book channel. Check out the comic book channel. Really, needs some love. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And as always, Dave knows.